Thanks for stopping by Tales from the Creekbed. If you enjoy the content, please consider liking and subscribing. Your support helps to keep the channel thriving. Remember to comment below and share your horror fandom experiences with us. Did you grow up reading young adult horror? Also, if you're looking for a read, check out my novel, The Horror Club, A Trip to the Video Store. It's a personal journey, available on Amazon.com and Audible. Now let's dive into the show. The year was 1996. I was 12 years old and a huge horror fan. Are You Afraid of the Dark and The Monster Squad were my idea of the perfect life.
The Monster Squad.
Wolfman's gone mad.
My craving for new tales of terror was a bottomless pit, especially regarding my favorite slasher, Jason Voorhees. But Jason had been dragged to the pits of hell 3 years before, and Camp Crystal Lake had been long shut down. Fortunately, I stumbled upon a rare series of books, a treasure that would soon be pulled from shelves and swept into the furthest corners of obscure fandom. But only after I had the chance to own a copy, a privilege that only a few would experience. That series was a young adult book collection based on the Friday the 13th movies and centered around Crystal Lake. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Jeremy Campbell. I am an author, a director, and a photographer. This is my story, Tales from the Creekbed. In the previous episode, I delved into the first novel in the series, Mother's Day. I invite you to listen to that review by watching the previous episode. In today's episode, I am reviewing Jason's Curse, the second installment in the Camp Crystal Lake Young Adult series by Eric Morse. This sequel seamlessly picks up the story exactly 1 year after the first book's events. The summary reads as follows. Everyone thought Kelly Boone was crazy. She wanted to go to Camp Crystal Lake to destroy the evil legacy of Jason Voorhees once and for all. Her friends tried to talk her out of it, but Kelly was obsessed because Jason had killed her brother. As they explore the cursed campsite, they realize they are not alone. A backwoods hillbilly has gone fishing in the lake where Jason drowned, and he managed to hook the catch of the day: the blood-stained mask of Jason Voorhees. The overall tone reminded me of Friday the 13th, the final chapter, with a bit of a new beginning. The lead character, Kelly, is the girl next door, pushed to the limit. She is on the brink of being Tommy Jarvis crazy from Friday the 13th, Part 5.
You're crazy from the loony bin! Oh, my mama's gonna chop you up into itty-bitty pieces, my friend! You hear me? I said, are you hearing me? I said, are you hearing me? Fuck you, lunatic!
But motivated to track down Jason, like Rob in the final chapter.
Oh my God! Shit! Give me a hand.
But you will never hear Kelly screaming, "He's killing me. She is a total badass." The rest of the cast, while reminiscent of the cliches you would find in a Friday the 13th film, are not mere stereotypes. They are fleshed out with their own motivations and unique styles, making them more relatable and engaging for the reader. Rich descriptions of the surrounding area draw you into the element that the characters inhabit, but never drag in any way. There are a few moments that really push the bounds of violence for a book that is written for an audience between the ages of 11 and 14. I personally am not complaining, but I can bet that if these books came out today, conservative mother groups and governors looking to please these self-righteous hypocrites would have a field day going after these books. Remember, these rare books can go for as much as $1,000 in the secondhand market, but you can find a free audio version on the Slash Tracks Network WW80s Slasher Librarian. Their entire channel is full of great content, including free audio versions of novelizations of The Lost Boys, Fright Night, A Nightmare on Elm Street, and more. I will include a link in the description. Like the book before this one, Jason is not the killer. This series follows the theme that Jason is a manifestation of a greater evil that haunts the entire area. This was the first book in the series I read when I was 12 years old, and I loved it. This was the perfect book for a young horror fan like me, who was searching for new stories regarding Camp Crystal Lake. Going back now and rereading it 28 years later as an adult, I am not ashamed to say this book still held up for me. More than Mother's Day. I like this book a lot. This book was not just a passing influence on me early on, but a significant one that has stuck with me through the years, a testament to the enduring power of its story. Going back and reading it this time, I was blown away by how many elements from this book appeared in my movie Velvet Vengeance. If that movie had been a major success, there could have been a case for a lawsuit. The book's influence on my creative process was profound, and it's fascinating to see how its themes and characters found their way into my work. When I first read this book, my family was living in a 3-bedroom trailer with, at one point, 10 other people. We would soon be evicted from that trailer when my drug-addicted stepdad split on us. This book was a source of comfort and escape during those turbulent times, and it's a testament to the power of storytelling to provide solace in difficult circumstances. That eviction led to my family spending the next 5 months being homeless. Bouncing from one family member's house to the next, we had to store all our major belongings. The only thing I could take with me besides some clothes was a few CDs and some of my books. None of the family members we lived with were happy to have us, and there were times when they went out of their way to prove that point. Those hands full of books and CDs got me through that time, including Jason's Curse. That included books like Jason's Curse and bands like Metallica banned from the house. I had to go out to the garage if I wanted to read my books or listen to my music. All that isolation did was strengthen my bond with horror and metal. Now, all of these later, as a small business owner, an author, a photographer, and a filmmaker, I owe so much to stories like Jason's Curse. Because it was all of the disgusting, vile trash that was going to warp my mind and cause me to open doors to evil forces that fed my soul and gave me the strength to make it through some really hard times. Even as I write this, I am listening to Merciful Fate at full blast. And feeling the same sensation that I assume the next person gets listening to their praise and worship. Like so many others, horror, metal, punk, and rebellion were not a phase but a way of life. The test of time is how happy I am now versus when I try to live by other people's standards. I'm Jeremy Campbell, reminding you, don't be scared to be you. This has been Tales from the Creekbed.